For 72 hours, I was gone. Not unconscious, not dreaming, gone. And what I experienced during that time is the reason I'm speaking to you now. Not because I expect you to believe me immediately, but because what I saw changed everything I thought I knew about life, about death, and about God. Kui. My name is Abdulaziz Al-Mansouri. For 32 years, I was a Muslim Imam. Faith wasn't just something I practiced. It was who I was. I led prayers. I taught scripture. I guided people. I believed I understood the truth until the day my heart stopped. It happened in the middle of a gathering. I was speaking, something I had done thousands of times before. Then suddenly, a tightness in my chest. At first I ignored it. I told myself, keep going, don't show weakness, pride. Even as my body began to fail, I was thinking about how I looked to others. But the pain didn't stop. It spread into my arm, my jaw, my back. It felt like every nerve in my body was on fire. The room started spinning. Faces blurred into one another. Voices slowed, stretched, distorted. Then my legs gave out. I reached for something, anything, but there was nothing to hold, and I fell. The last thing I remember was the cold floor against my face, and one clear thought, I'm going to die right here. Then everything went black, but it wasn't silent. What happened next is something I struggle to explain, because it didn't feel like drifting off. It felt like being pulled, suddenly, violently, out of my body. One moment, I was on the ground. The next, I was somewhere else. I was standing, but not in the place I had been. Everything around me was wrong. There was no sky, no clear ground, just a gray, endless expanse, like fog, but thicker, Tali. Not made of water, something else, something that felt alive. The light wasn't coming from anywhere specific. It was everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Not bright, not dark, just present. And the silence, it wasn't peaceful. It pressed against me, heavy, suffocating. Then I heard it. Whispers, thousands of them, maybe more, overlapping constant voices speaking in languages I couldn't understand, like static but alive. I tried to speak. Hello? My voice came out, but it didn't travel. It just stopped like the air swallowed it. That's when fear hit me. I mean real fear. The kind that grips your entire body, because I realized something. I had no idea where I was, no idea what was happening, and no control over any of it. I started walking, not because I knew where to go, but because standing still felt worse. Then I saw them, figures, in the distance. At first I thought they were objects, but as I got closer, I realized they were people. Hundreds, maybe thousands of them standing completely still. I approached one, a man. I waved my hand in front of his face. Nothing. His eyes were open, but empty. No awareness, no response. I tried another, and another. Same thing. They were there, but not really there. Panic began to rise in me. I shouted, louder this time. Can anyone hear me? Nothing. Then, beneath the whispers, I heard something else. Screaming, distant, but real, raw, agonizing, the kind of sound that makes your blood run cold. And in that moment, I realized this place wasn't safe. Before I could process it further, the ground began to tremble. Not violently, but steadily, rhythmically, like footsteps. Something was coming. I felt it before I saw it. A presence, heavy, oppressive. The kind of presence that makes your instincts scream, run. And I did. I ran without thinking, without direction, driven purely by fear. But even as I ran, I knew something was wrong. This place had no edges, no exits, no escape, and whatever was behind me wasn't rushing. It didn't need to. Then suddenly, light, not the gray glow of that place, real light, warm, clear, alive, cutting through everything, and I ran toward it. As I got closer, I saw a figure, a man, standing in the light, waiting. There was something about him, something I felt before I understood. Not fear, not like before. This was different. Authority, peace, power, love, all at once. I stopped, unable to go any further. And then he turned. and I saw his face. He looked like a man, ordinary in a way. But there was something in his eyes, something deeper than anything human. When I looked at him, I felt seen, completely. Then I noticed his hands, scars. Not marks, not symbols, real scars, and instantly I knew, before he even spoke. My knees gave out, and I fell, not because I was forced to, but because I couldn't stand anymore. Everything I thought I knew, about myself, about faith, about truth, collapsed in that moment. He stepped closer, and when he spoke, it wasn't loud, but it carried through everything. "Oh, do you know who I am?" I couldn't answer at first. My mind was racing. Everything I believed was colliding at once. But deep down, I knew, "You're Jesus." And in that moment, everything changed. I stayed on my knees, unable to move. Not because I was forced to, but because everything inside me had collapsed. For years, I had believed I understood God. I had taught others, guided them, corrected them. But standing there, in front of him, I realized how much I didn't know. He looked at me, not with anger, not with condemnation, but with something I couldn't comprehend at first. Compassion, a kind of love that didn't make sense, not based on what I had done right or wrong, just there. And that broke me even more, because in that moment, I saw myself clearly. Not the image I had built, not the respected Imam, not the teacher, but the truth. Every hidden thought, every moment of pride, every time I had judged others while excusing myself, it was all there. And I had no defense. Expected rejection, distance, judgment. Then he spoke again, and when he said my name, it didn't just reach my ears, it reached somewhere deeper. "Do you know why you're here?" I tried to answer, but I couldn't. My thoughts were tangled. Everything I believed was unraveling, but he already knew. "You've spent your life trying to reach God," he said, "through effort, through discipline, through obedience." His voice wasn't harsh, it was steady, clear. "But you were trying to build a bridge you could never finish." Those words cut deeper than anything else, because I knew they were true. All those years, I thought I was getting closer. But now I saw it differently. No matter how much I did, it was never enough. Not because I didn't try hard enough, but because the distance itself was something I couldn't cross on my own. "I am the way," he said, not loudly, not forcefully, but with certainty, of the truth and the life. There was no argument left in me. No defense, no explanation, only realization. Everything I had built my identity on was being stripped away, and yet I didn't feel destroyed. I felt exposed, but also understood. He reached out and placed his hand on my shoulder. It was warm, solid, real, more real than anything I had ever felt before. "You will return," he said. The words hit me instantly. Return. Part of me resisted immediately. I didn't want to go back, not to confusion, not to uncertainty, not to the life I had just seen so clearly. But I understood. This wasn't a choice. "There is still something you must do," I swallowed, finally able to speak. "Oh, what? What do you want me to do?" He stood, and somehow I found myself standing too. The environment around us began to change. The gray, the fog, the silence, it all started to pull back. And suddenly, we were somewhere else. High. As if standing above everything. Below us was the world. Not symbolically. Not like a vision you imagine. I could see it. Clearly. Cities, people, movement. Life continuing as if nothing had changed. But something was wrong. There was darkness. Not the absence of light. But something active, subtle, spreading. Not everyone could see it. But I could. It moved through systems, through ideas, through people. Distorting things, twisting truth. Just slightly at first. "Do you see it?" he asked. Yes, my voice felt small. "What is it?" "A deception." The word settled heavily. Not chaos, not destruction, deception. Something that doesn't appear dangerous at first. Something that feels right until it isn't. It grows quietly, he said, through comfort, through fear, through distraction. I watched people living their lives, working, laughing, arguing, planning, completely unaware. It doesn't force itself on people, he continued. They accept it because it offers what they want: security, control, clarity in uncertain times. And slowly, without realizing it, they trade truth for comfort. I felt a weight in my chest. How do they know? I asked. How do they see it? He looked at me. They must choose to seek truth. Not be told, not be forced. Choose. Then everything shifted again. The vision faded, the world disappeared, and we were back, just the two of us. You will go back, he said again, this time with understanding. My heart felt heavy. People won't believe me, I said quietly. I know. They'll reject me. Yes, I could lose everything. He didn't interrupt, because we both knew that was true. Then he said something I will never forget. A truth has always cost something. Silence settled between us, and I realized this wasn't about comfort. It was about obedience. About whether I would speak even if it cost me everything. Will you do it? Znain hesitated. Not because I didn't understand, but because I did. I knew what it would mean. My reputation, my position, my relationships, all of it at risk. But then I thought about what I had seen, what I had felt, and the truth became simple. Yes, I said. His expression softened. And for a moment, everything felt complete. Then everything broke. Pain, sharp, explosive, overwhelming. My body felt like it was being crushed from the inside. Voices shouted around me, bright lights, movement. I was back, my chest heaving, my body barely responding. I couldn't speak, couldn't move, but I knew I was alive again. Recovery took time, more than I expected. My body was weak, my speech slow, my mind still catching up. But the memories came back, not all at once, in pieces, moments, feelings, fragments of what I had experienced. And with each one, the weight of it grew. I couldn't ignore it. So when I returned, I tried to ease into it. I spoke differently, carefully. But eventually the truth came out. And when it did, everything changed. I lost my position, my role, my place. People distanced themselves. Some rejected me completely. Even within my own family, there was confusion, pain, division, but I couldn't go back. Because I knew what I had experienced, so I kept speaking. Not loudly, not forcefully, but consistently. And slowly, a few people listened, not many. But enough to remind me this wasn't about numbers. It was about truth. And now I'm telling you, not to force you, not to convince you, but to give you the same choice I was given, to seek truth or ignore it. Because at the end of everything, that's what it comes down to. Not religion, not tradition, not what you've always believed, but whether you're willing to ask the question, what if there's more? And if there is, are you willing to follow it, no matter the cost? I can't answer that for you, but I can tell you this. What I experienced felt more real than anything I've ever known. And if it is true, then knowing that truth changes everything. That's why I'm speaking. That's why I can't stay silent. And that's why you shouldn't ignore it.